Happy days. Happy days. Take care.
Au revoir.
Bye-bye.
Mes amis. I'm going this way.
I'm going this way.
Time scale of my learning and how slow I am is a really odd factor that I hadn't thought about. So yeah, I've probably taken ages and ages and ages to learn my lines, whereas normally it shouldn't really take that long. That's quite interesting.
Cara's realising how little she's understood until now about how dyslexia defines her.
I had decided what dyslexia was in my mind, what it meant, how it affected me. And I'd put it in a file and accepted, for me, that was that. And it's as if someone has suddenly added all these things that are kind of blowing my mind.
She's now going to find out how different her brain function is to that of non-dyslexics. Her brain scan results are through.
When it came to reading familiar words, people of your age and intelligence are normally much quicker and more accurate when they're reading them. Mm-hmm. So you were dyslexic insofar as you were slower to respond.
Mm-hmm. Kathy has discovered that Cara uses the same pathways in her brain to read as those without dyslexia, but she's using much more effort.
So you were saying horse and donkey, but despite reading easy words, your brain is still working particularly hard.
To read out words, Cara's brain must visually recognise the letters of a word, put those letters together, work out the meaning of the word, and then finally say the word out loud.
This red is how high your activity was, and you can see that it's higher than all of the other typical readers. People who are speaking in a second language, when they're reading in English, they also show more activity.
I'm almost working like a French person reading English.
Yes, but these are... Exactly.
Oh God, that's not good then, is it?
Despite the brave face, finding out that her memory and reading are significantly slower is troubling for Cara.
I know this is a bit dramatic, but I end up sort of hating myself because I can't seem to get anything right sometimes. It really is in my hands now, and if I want to make certain changes in my life, it's really down to me putting the work and the effort in.
Dyslexia can't be cured, but specialist tuition can help adult dyslexics manage the everyday tasks made tricky. Cara has signed up for some one-to-one classes.
Hello.
Hiya.
Tutor Claire Salter wants to start by transforming the way Cara deals with her poor short-term memory.
In the same way that you might have organisational problems in life, actually we can do that in our brain. If you sort of just put something down when you come in quickly and don't pay attention to where it is, when you go and find it later, it's really difficult to find. The better I store it, the more easily I can go and find it later.
How much?
6pence.
There's a shilling. No, keep the change.
Yeah, she's putting on performance.
Claire's showing Cara how to learn her script lines by associating them with colours, sounds, buzzwords and physical movement to anchor them in her long-term memory. She's using the same multi-sensory learning technique that Cara had a taste of at Chapwick School.
Hide the Christmas tree carefully, Helen. Be sure the children do not see it until this evening when it is dressed.
Does it matter where I put them?
No, as long as you can anchor and remember your movement. So what I do is get you to go round a number of times like that, sort of listening and repeating, listening and repeating.
Hide the Christmas tree carefully, Helen. Be sure the children do not see it until this evening when it is dressed.
Hide the Christmas tree carefully, Helen. Don't let them see it until tonight when it is properly dressed.
It's very close, yeah. It's, you know, it wouldn't take very long for it.
No, it wouldn't after a few times of repeat. How much? There's a shilling. Keep the change.
Has my little spendthrift been wasting money again?
Yes, Torville, but we can afford to let ourselves go a little. This is the first year.
Yeah, and then she does this one.
She says, poo. poo, but we can borrow until then.
Exactly that. Poo, we can borrow until then.
Oh my goodness, that's not bad, is it? No, I can see how it's working though. That's the thing, I feel like I've been quite lazy in the past just to think that there's one way and there's there's so many different ways of doing everything.
But it's the opposite of lazy because you were just giving yourself such hard work.
Yeah, I know. I'm such a twit. Not anymore.
These techniques are a revelation. But will Cara be brave enough to ditch the habit she's leaned on all her life?
I could really benefit massively, and I mean really big time, but just being stuck in my ways, you know, being stuck in the same old and just being used to that, it's like anything, it's like giving up an addiction, isn't it? That's the way I've done it for so long. Can I suddenly U-turn and decide to do something completely different? I don't know, it's a bit... I'm hoping that I take this on. I'm hoping that I don't go home today and think I'm just going to stick to my old way of learning and my old routine.